Hello and welcome to another podcast of Simply Shipped, brought to you by E2Log. I'll be your host today, Gabrielle, and I'm so excited to be joined in studio today with John Donnelly III, co-founder and CRO at E2Log, Mark Scott, co-founder and CTO at E2Log, and also Adolf Colasso, founder and CEO at E2Log. All right, how you guys doing?
Doing well,
Good.
thank you.
Good.
Awesome. Well, glad to have you guys with us here today. So next month, you are sponsoring a partner of the Gartner Supply Chain Symposium in Orlando, Florida. So I've got to ask you, what are you looking forward to most about the event, and what are your expectations around collaborating with peers in the industry? John, would you like to speak to this?
Yeah, we're really excited because obviously, as people know, there have not been a lot of live events over the last couple of years due to COVID and the rest of the world craziness. So we're excited to get together with people in the space. This conference brings together a plethora of really seasoned executives in the supply chain space, so we're excited to meet with. We're doing the roundtable session we'll talk about later, and obviously having an exhibit booth there as well. So we're really excited to meet people, get back in front of faces, and talk more about global logistics. So we're excited about it.
Absolutely. This is a great opportunity to do that. So speaking of collaborating and sharing experiences, Adolf, you're hosting a roundtable event focusing on global logistics and orchestration platforms on June 8th at 11:15 at the conference. Is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Well, at a high level, what is this? Why is this a crucial topic for attendees to understand and factor into their decisions moving forward?
So traditionally, Gabby, global logistics has had just a couple of types of technologies which have sort of dominated the space either for a long time or have been very recently introduced. But these technologies only solve part of the problem. So what we're going to be doing, and it's got to be exciting for the supply chain executives that are going to be there, is we're actually going to introduce a brand new technology which addresses the challenges of global logistics in a very different form and very unconventional as compared to what these traditional technologies have done. And we're actually going to demonstrate how this can impact global logistics through a couple of use cases and bringing in some industry leading companies, like Legrand and Floor, who have these very large global logistics operations where hundreds of millions of dollars are spent executing logistics, and getting them to talk about some of their use cases of how they're using our technology.
Absolutely. And Mark, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think it's just an exciting opportunity for us to kind of take some of these use cases and put them front and center. As Adolf said, we take a different approach to this, right? So traditionally, and even at Gartner, we're sure we're going to see lots of TMS solutions and lots of real-time visibility platforms. And those are great and serve some interesting use cases and solutions. But our view is those are limited and they're not delivering the full value for the customers. And so we're excited alongside of our customers to kind of explain how we've really taken it a level up. And so we're really connecting the dots from the second an order is placed all the way till it arrives at the final destination. And that's it seems simple, but it's a very different way of thinking about it. And it's a way of kind of piecing together these technologies that have long dominated, but have often under-delivered on promises.
Absolutely, and customers will be able to find that full value, like you said, with this opportunity. And John, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think again, it's something where we're approaching the kind of the overall problem a little differently. So I think it's exciting to really look at this event as kind of a coming out party for the platform. The company's been in business for a couple of years, but been relatively in stealth mode in terms of our marketing and go-to-market and kind of events kind of presence. So we're excited to kind of kick it off with the Gartner event, certainly here in the United States, and we'll talk about other events later, but certainly excited for that, and just to give people a different approach, a different look at how people solve global logistics problems. And Adolf has had a tremendous amount of experience kind of doing that job, so he understands the job really, really well, and really understands how to help build a platform, or build platforms to solve that problem. And Mark's team has built really a platform that is easy to use, easy to understand, and really easy to learn for people. So it provides that B2C experience that people really love with their phones every day. So certainly our platform enables people to operate that way. So again, getting on the platform is quick and easy, and certainly exciting.
Absolutely. Yeah, quick and easy is always the way to go for B2C products. That's awesome. Well, you have that very exciting roundtable discussion coming up. So without giving away any key takeaways or spoiler alerts, should we say, could you please tell us what are some of the global benefits of using orchestration platforms for global logistics? Adolf?
Yeah, so traditionally, the technology which has been in the space has addressed a subset of the problems. And when you look at transportation management systems as an example, They have typically been local transportation or domestic transportation, or to some extent regional transportation focused. And there is a reason why they're called transportation systems, right? Because they're focused on the transportation piece. And more recently, you have the real-time transportation visibility platforms, which are focused on just the visibility piece. But when you look at how global logistics is executed, it's complex, and it has its tentacles into various other aspects of the supply chain. And what we are bringing in is this very exciting new technology, which has those tentacles built in very strategically into other aspects of the supply chain. So we're introducing E2log, which does what a traditional TMS does. It does what the newbies like the real-time transportation visibility platforms are doing, but it has those other strategic components that are built, which integrate with other aspects of the supply chain within companies as well as externally. So how does this all come together is this package that we are bringing to the audience at this conference. And we actually are doing it with some use cases with customers who are using this technology. So that's the real exciting part, and what the supply chain executives who are attending this conference can look forward to.
Absolutely. And, using those use cases with the customers, that'll be a wonderful opportunity. And, we can't wait to hear more about your roundtable in Orlando as it relates to the larger conference in general. John, can you tell us a little bit more about your booth setup, where we can find you, and what attendees can expect when they visit the E2log booth?
Sure. Yes, we're going to have a booth set up like a lot of the other vendors at the show that are going to be where we're going to be showing our platform. I'll let Mark talk a little bit more about what we're going to be doing there, but it's exciting because people can come by the booth just randomly, kind of walking by in between sessions, sit down and get a proper demo, or they can set up a time with our sales team as well to do that, which we'll be doing going forward in terms of setting people up for that agenda-wise. But they have a couple different options or ways to see the platform. We'll also have the platform running on a screen as well, so people can come by casually, take a quick look, and certainly with the roundtable session combined with that, people get a good chance to see what E2log has to offer from a customer perspective.
And Mark, and you?
Yeah, so at the booth, we're going to have an opportunity to put on some real demos for anybody that's interested in seeing it. And specifically, I've got 3 that come to mind that we're really excited about. So the first is we've been working with Fluor, a large EPC company, who's really using our platform to do full order lifecycle visibility. So from the point of purchase orders placed all the way till it arrives at the project site. So we want to show the capability of E2log solving that problem. We've also got automated logistics requests. And so what that means is you're basically beginning to put some of your logistics operations on autopilot. And we have a customer, Noble Drilling, who's doing that for us as well, or with us as well. And then the third use case that we're excited about, and this is a hot topic right now, which is carbon emission tracking. So we're uniquely positioned because we really connect the full transportation chain, every leg of it. And so one of our customers, Legrand, is working with more than 10 freight forwarders globally, yet they're able in one place to see their carbon emissions all together. So these are just 3 things. We have lots of things we're going to be demoing as we have an opportunity, whatever interest is shown. But those are the things that kind of come to mind that I'm excited about at the booth.
Absolutely. And, what are some of your overall expectations for the event? Adolph, could you start?
Yeah, what we want to actually trigger is a sort of thought process away from the conventional wisdom. A lot of the thought process today is that transportation management systems and real-time visibility platforms are the solutions to the challenges that global logistics is currently facing. And what we are saying is that that's not sufficient. So we are really going against the grain here. We are going to challenge the norm that seems to be adopted by a lot of leaders, but we want to bring it forward through use cases and a demonstration of our technology. So that's the piece which is going to be very exciting and we are looking forward to.
Absolutely. And Mark?
Yeah, same. I think it's very exciting to have an opportunity to showcase the platform that we've been working on for the last few years, really alongside of some very big and key customers for us, but we've not yet had a forum like this to discuss it. And I think knowing that there'll be some of the biggest thought leaders in the business there, we've already had a chance to engage with some of the Gartner analysts and the leading thinkers in this space, and I think they've really validated for us that what we're doing is different. And I think getting a chance to put that in front of a larger audience of a couple thousand people who are really searching for solutions in this space all the time has us really excited. I think we expect to engage with again really smart people, but people that have been looking for this solution, and this may be the first time that they find it. They've been stuck with sort of what's been out there so far. So I think we're excited to just kind of engage with those other people who have long been searching for this, and we're delivering on it. So.
And this forum's a great opportunity for you people to find you as the solution. So there's great exposure there. And John?
Yeah, I think since we launched this podcast, Simply Shipped, we're excited to continue to bring thought leadership to the industry. And Gartner's, really the expert in terms of, providing analyst coverage across the space. And as it all said, and Mark said, traditionally out there's been TMS systems, there's been real-time visibility platforms and ERP systems out there that really have guided people through the supply chain technology process. And really, nothing's addressed the problem like we have, right? So we're really excited by that. As Mark said, one or two of the analysts have seen the platform and seen our overall value proposition, see that we're doing something different and unique. So what we're trying to do is continue to just provide that thought leadership, give people that education, and see if we're a fit. Ultimately, when we sign new customers, we look for places where we know our technology is a good fit, and that's what we go after. We're not going to just kind of, blast a gun in all directions and try to sign any customer. We want to find ones that are going to be a good fit, successful, and really go after use cases that are a match for our platform. So.
Absolutely. Well, I, for one, am very excited for this event. I'm excited to see what you have planned for this roundtable. Very exciting stuff. Is there some way that people or somewhere that people can go to learn more before this event, to just kind of keep tabs on event details, see what you guys are up to before then?
Sure. There's an event page for Gartner Symposium, the Supply Chain Conference, and also people can go to our website, www.e2log.com, where there's tons of content, thought leadership, where our podcast also sits on the website, as well as at Apple and Spotify. So people get a chance to look at different things on the website and hopefully educate themselves a little bit more about the company before they see us at the conference.
Awesome. So that's www.e2log.com. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here with us today. And thank you so much for joining us for today's podcast episode of Simply Shipped, brought to you by E2log. If you'd like to learn more about what E2log does and what they've been up to, please visit their website at www.e2log.com. Thanks for joining us.